Yeah, take as many math classes as you can. And if you don't like it, figure out how to, because you're going to do math. You can do less math as you get more sophisticated. I mean, you'll start thinking it's not math because you'll have done so much math. So you'll do math no matter what, but take as much math. And you know, if you're not someone who just naturally loves math, you might start taking the math that's the most fun for you so that you can kind of build up your enthusiasm for math. And also realize math, you know, they're just numbers and variables. And I've talked to so many, you know, girls and women who are like, oh, I hate math, I'm no good at it. And then I actually like sit down with them and actually they're very good at it. It's just somehow they have this idea that they're not good at it, but they are. And then if you really want to go into like research, you know, having an open mind and a creative mind is really important. So taking arts and creative writing, even though your physics professors may tell you that it's a waste of time, I think if you really want to do research in physics, it actually is really useful. And then the writing is going to be important if you want to do research because you have to communicate your research. You know, now we have social media, which is this wonderful thing in some ways because what you can do with social media is you can fill your day or your morning or some part of your day with inspiration if you want. And so you can make other women who use social media, you can use them as virtual role models to inspire you to keep going when it gets tough. And this is assuming you can't find them in person. You know, of course, it's even better to find role models, whether they're faculty, teachers, you know, people in industry, friends. I mean, ideally, you have someone who's close by, who you can go have lunch with and talk to. But a lot of women aren't going to have that. But what they can do is they can find me, for example, on Twitter under Laura Aurora. And, you know, I really try to put out on social media really positive statements about science and that, you know, anyone can do it. You just have to work hard and you have to be resilient. And then I also, to keep myself going, I look for that. And so pretty much every morning I kind of feed my brain with positive messages about science and being in science and my love of science. So I feed the part of me inside that is positive about science with external things. And I'm an extrovert, so that's how I work. I get energy from outside sources. I hear introverts work differently. So I'm not sure I can give great advice to introverts. But for extroverts, I do, and there is research that shows that if you do this kind of positive feedback for yourself on a regular basis, it works. And so that's, you know, I think finding role models, if you can't find them, you can find them on the internet. Feeding positive messages to yourself. Also, I think this idea of resilience is really important. You know, if you fail a test or you do poorly on a test, it doesn't mean you can't do that subject. I know many people who, you know, including myself, have gotten a bad grade on a test that was important to be a physicist and went back and studied harder and did better. And in many of the cases that I know of, in fact, because they felt so horrible about it, they ended up getting the best grade in the class or doing the best on the qualifying exams of any of the other students. You know, so sometimes those these quote failures can be impetus, they can be things that we can use to then be the best. And so I guess what I would say is don't let the turkeys get you down.